I can use fraction pieces to identify sums that are greater than 1 and write the sums as improper fractions and as mixed numbers. In today's lesson, you learned about fractions that are greater than 1 whole. Take a look at these squares. Imagine that these 3 squares are sandwiches, and there's 2 friends. 2 friends want to share them equally. How much would each person get? Think about this with your partner. Turn and talk about this and pause this video until you have come up with some sort of solution. Okay, so how much would the 2 friends get? Well, let's see. Let's think about that. Let's say this is one friend, and here's another friend. Well, this friend can get this sandwich, and this friend could get this sandwich. Now there's one sandwich here, which they need to share. Well, how about if we just split that in half? So that means that 1/2 would go to this friend, and the other half would go to this friend. This way, each friend would get 1 whole and 1/2. So we could write it as 1 whole and 1/2. We could also say it's 1 and 1/2. Here's another way which you might have discussed with your partner. Well, what if we cut each of the sandwiches in half, right? So let's cut this in half, cut this in half, cut this in half. So that means that 1/2 goes to one partner, 1/2 goes to the other friend, 1/2 here, 1/2 to the friend, 1/2 to that friend, and 1/2 to this friend. This way you can see that each of the friends gets 3 1/2s, right? 1, 2, 3 for this friend, and 1, 2, 3 for this friend. So each friend would get 3 halves. So 2 ways you could have done it. So we said that if you cut it this way, where there's only one which is cut, each would get 1 whole and 1/2, or we could say 1 and 1/2. And if you cut each of the sandwiches into halves, each would get 3 halves. So I'll show you how to write these answers with fractions. So if you wanted to write 1 whole and 1/2, or 1 and 1/2, you would write 1 and the fraction right next to it, 1/2. So this reads as 1 and 1/2. If you wanted to write 3 halves, such as you have in this solution here, you would write it as 3 fraction bar half. And you would read this as 3 halves. Now these fractions look weird, don't they? Well, they are a little bit weird, and they have special names because they do look weird. So 1 and 1/2 is actually called a mixed number because there's a mix of numbers here, right? It's a mix of a whole number and a fraction, 1/2. That's why it's called a mixed number. Now let's take a look at the other fraction, 3 halves. Now 3 halves is called an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. And an improper fraction is always greater than 1. Now, let's get ready to write this new math vocabulary into your books. Turn open to page 58. Pause this video until you're ready. Okay, so let's add on mixed number. And let's put our example that we worked on. So that would be 1 and 1/2. And the next one would be improper fraction. And our example of that would be 3/2. So pause this video and copy this into page 58 in your workbook. Pause this video until you're ready. Okay, so the next part of this lesson will be working with a teacher where you'll learn an activity called Roll 5.